What's up guys, it's Ashton here and welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video I'm going to be bringing you the best wingman guide for Apex Legends Season 3. Now before we get into the video I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's liked and subscribed recently. We're just under 10 subs away from the big 100, which is amazing. That's double what we had anticipated for the year, so thank you so much to everyone, and let's make the 100 happen before Christmas. So thank you to everyone. Let's get right into the guide. In this video, I'm going to be going over 4 key points about the wingman. Number 1, an overview of the weapon as a whole, including statistics. Number 2, the pros and cons of using the wingman. Number 3, the ways to use the wingman. And number 4, my personal preferred loadout when using the wingman. So let's start off with the overview. The wingman is one of the most damaging and sought after weapons in the whole of Apex Legends. It's versatile at close, medium and long ranges, and for that reason alone is used by many of the pro players on the pro scene. Upon first picking up the wingman, the weapon only has 4 shots in the chamber, making it absolutely essential that you hit your shots, especially if you're in the mid to late game. The insanely high damage output of the wingman, being 45 damage to the body, 96 to the head and 40 to the leg, is one of the main reasons that the wingman is so sought after. With good accuracy and a fire rate of 2.6 shots per second, you can bring down any legend wearing purple shields in just over 3.25 seconds. The wingman also deals a hefty damage output against headshots, with 96.75 damage to people with no helmet, 87 to level 1, 77.4 to a level 2 helmet, and to a level 3 or level 4 helmet, it deals a whopping 72.56 damage. Make no mistake, if you can hit your shots with the wingman, you can bring down any legend very, very fast. And with that, we'll move straight on to our second point in the guide, which is the pros and cons of using the wingman. So first up, let's jump straight into the pros. So first up, we're going to say the high damage output. I don't need to tell you this anymore, guys. I've just talked about it in the overview. This gun hits hard. We've also got the quick draw speed, meaning it's quick to bring out the wingman mid-fight if that's what you need to do. We've got the insane accuracy of the wingman, and finally, the quick reload time of 2.10 seconds. Mid-clip or at the end of a clip, it doesn't matter, it's always going to reload in 2.10 seconds, which is pretty consistent, so you know what to expect when reloading the wingman. Now, as for the cons, we do have a couple, but this is also slightly subjective and I'll talk to you a little bit about why. So the first con I've got is that it needs a heavy mag. Now, I think everyone can agree that 4 shots in the chamber just isn't enough, even if you're absolutely insane laser accuracy, beaming every single person. 4 bullets just sometimes isn't enough. I've also got that it needs a red dot sight. Now, this is subjective because some people do like the iron sights of the wingman. However, personally, I'm not a fan. Even with the nice death ray skin, I'm not a fan of the iron sights on the wingman. So personally, I also think you need a red dot sight, which off the bat sometimes isn't possible. And lastly, it does require accuracy. Now, this is subjective from player to player. Not everyone has insane laser accuracy, but if you can hit your shots with the wingman, then this gun is going to be a very, very good weapon for you to use. As for the optics to use on the wingman, I personally recommend the 1x classic hollow sight. This is my personal favourite sight to use on the wingman, as it is clean, open, you can see what you're aiming at, and it's also very precise on where the bullet's going to go. But also, probably my second choice would be the digital threat. A lot of people would have this at first choice, but me personally, I find it's a little bit too clunky for my liking, but it is also nice and accurate, and you can also see highlights of your enemies from close to medium range. Moving on to point 3, we're going to be talking about the ways to use the wingman. Now, there are 2 main ways you can use the wingman. You can use it as your primary or your secondary, and that's the same for most guns I know, but hear me out. Using the wingman as a primary weapon can be very effective, especially at long to medium range, as it can wear down your target before going in for the kill with any weapon of your choice. Now, this is personally not how I like to use the wingman. I probably try to integrate both the primary and secondary usage of the wingman into my game style, and I'll talk about why in just a minute. Before we do that, I'm going to be talking about how to use it as a secondary. Now, it's just the opposite of using a primary. You've just got to go in with your gun of your choice, maybe an R99 or R301, remove the shields, a little bit of base health, and when that gun runs out of ammo, you whip out the wingman with its quick draw time, and you get the final shot or 2 on your enemy, and you're going to absolutely destroy them, guys. It's absolutely a lethal weapon. Now I have seen a lot of people using the wingman very wrong recently, and I'm going to be talking to you now about why they've been using it wrong and how to use it correctly. So let me make this very clear right off the bat to you guys. You do not want to be using the wingman at very close range if you're storming into a building or trying to take on a 2 or a 3 if you're on your own, or maybe even as a 2. You do not want to be using the wingman at close range in that scenario. The best choice for you in this scenario is to use it as a secondary and as a finisher rather than as your primary, because the wingman is best used as a primary at medium and long ranges to take your target's health down while they can't engage with you with those SMGs and assault rifles. So just to be clear guys, if you're using the wingman as a primary, you want to be keeping to a long or medium range to take off some of the enemy's health before going in with your automatic weapons. Now, if you're at a close range, definitely go in with the automatic weapons first and use the wingman to finish them off when they're low health. As previously mentioned, the wingman is one of the most versatile weapons in the game, as it can be used at long, medium and close range. And in order to fully master the wingman, it is important you run it in a loadout which allows you to fully utilise its strengths. This brings me nicely onto my final point, my personal preferred loadout when using the wingman. As you will have seen a lot of in this video already, I often partner up the wingman with the R99. While this isn't exactly an uncommon combination, it is definitely one of the most deadly in the game. The high fire rate of the R99 for those close range engagements with the wingman used to finish off my opponents when they're weak often proves to be way too much for my opponents to handle. Now in this loadout, the wingman should also be used for your long and medium range engagements, as you can take off 45 to 90 damage on your targets before going in to finish them with that all-powerful R99. To finish off, I'm going to give you a couple of pro tips to make sure you improve with that wingman and use it to the absolute maximum of its capability. So number one is to jump straight into the firing range and practice that accuracy. There are a couple of really good practice tutorials out there talking to you about how to improve your accuracy, and I would highly recommend looking them up on YouTube, using the wingman and just practicing with that accuracy, because the more accurate you are with it, the more deadly and the more kills you can get with the wingman. My second tip is actually to not use a weapon charm when using the wingman. I often find that using a weapon charm with the wingman is actually detrimental to you, as it can block a large portion of your line of sight when aiming down sights, and I find that it's much better to just have a clear open view of what you're aiming at and not have the weapon charm get in the way of your fights. My last tip is actually to invest in one of the gold wingman skins. Now, it has to be either the Merciless Wing or the Death Ray. I suggest these two skins because they improve the iron sight slightly, as they are much more slim, and also the gun in general is much more slim. It's not quite as chunky as the original wingman skin. Personally, I find this helps my aim, and also they just look very awesome. So guys, with that brings me to the end of this best wingman guide on season 3. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Make sure you smash like and subscribe if you've learned something new, and if it helps you with the wingman and helps you bring your game to the next level using this weapon. Now, until next time guys, take it easy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.